up from your snooze. Come get with the crew. You know who it is, what it is, what we do. It's the crew, yeah. Oh yeah, it's the crew. Oh yeah, it's the crew, yeah. Oh yeah, it's the crew. Oh yeah, it's time to snooze, join the crew. We got news, we got tunes. We gon' hit you with the truth. We ain't like them other dudes. All the glory to Jesus, cause of him we making moves. Oh yeah, we done found our groove. You can come get with it too. It's the crew.
Yo, what's poppin', Crew Nation? You already know who it is, what it is, and what we do, man. It is your boy, Jay.
This is Chris.
Hey, really quickly, if you all want to support this channel, make sure that y'all hit that like button and that red subscribe button. And do not forget to tell a friend when they ask, where do you get your Christian rap news from? The crew, baby. The crew. And last but certainly not least, if y'all want to support this channel, make sure y'all go to thespinawards.com/vote and vote for your boys. We are up for 3 different nominations, and we want to win all 3. Best radio show of the year, best late evening radio show, and best radio show with 2 or more hosts. I think we got a chance to win that because we got people behind us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Show your support, man. Go to Spin Awards, man, and vote for us and show your support if you really love what we do. Anybody that's been rocking with us for these years since 2014, show your love and support, man, and because it also gives us a push that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. If people go out there and they support us, it gives us that push to keep going and keep moving forward. So we appreciate all the love and support, man. Go vote.
Definitely, man. Go vote. thespinawards.com/vote. And speaking of something else that we're a part of, the God's House of Hip Hop 2020 Summerfest. Over 70 artists, 5 DJs, 3 hosts, 2-day event, September 17th and the 18th. Guys, I'm telling you now, you want to be a part of this side of history, okay? We always talk about things, and I know a lot of Christian hip-hop is fairly young, right? So a lot of people feel like that they missed a lot of the moments, or they didn't get a chance to be a part of these things, but that's exactly what this is. This is the Christian hip-hop Coachella. And the reason why we're calling it that is because Coachella has all of the big artists, tons of artists, 30, 40 artists. I really think it's more than that in one time. And that's exactly what this is doing. So guys, like I say, go out and purchase your tickets. You can get them as low as $59.99. And look, if you don't want to do that to actually be in attendance, but you still want to be a part of this moment, you can get this streamed, and everything is going to be streamed. Like every artist is going to be streamed. They'll be sharing this one stage, so go and click that. So look, we know that Wande took to social media to point out the obvious lack of black Christian creatives that do not have black wives. And look, she was just pointing out the obvious. She was like, yo, only 1% of y'all decided to be able to, that a white woman or a black woman was suitable enough to marry. Now look, she received a lot of praise behind this, a lot of support. And one of her supporters was No Big Deal, who also has a white wife. He said, yo, I feel like I married who I was supposed to marry. I feel like I married who God wanted me to marry. I love my wife, but that doesn't negate the fact that this is an accurate depiction of the Christian entertainment industry. It doesn't mean that Wande is lying, because I agree, right? And so with all of that being said, some clown decided to retweet her with her, in her blonde mode and say no one will respect a black Christian who wife this. Now, this is a pattern for this guy. I mean, you go through his profile, he disrespects black women on the regular. This is just what he does. And it's kind of weird because the guy is black. The self-hate that a person must have, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just love Wande's clapback. What did she say?
Wande clapped back. I thank you for that. Wande clapped back and she says, when you're trying to insult someone, at least make it believable, because Wande knows she's not ugly.
Exactly. In all respect to Wande's fiance, Wande is a very beautiful person, so we all know that what he said was nonsense. So it just makes no sense that you could call yourself a Christian and claim to be a Christian, but yet step out there and say things like this.
Well, I don't even know if he claims to be a Christian. His name is like Jesus or something.
Well,
like that.
what was the comment? Imagine did he say imagine a black Christian?
Yeah, wife in this, right?
Wife in this,
Yeah.
or did he say just imagine a black man wife in this?
Nah, he said a black Christian.
So right, so if you're
Okay, I get
right,
it.
exactly. So he has to claim to be a Christian, making a response like that. So if you're a Christian, you're saying anything remotely close to that. I think that's just that's crazy. That's insane to say anything like that and claim to be a follower of Christ. As it pertains to what Wande said, people marry people for different reasons. Some people have known people their whole lives, and that's why they choose to make somebody their wife. But I think it just comes from the spirit of, black women are the most underappreciated type of people on this earth.
Agreed.
So the black woman is definitely underappreciated. So we're in this state where we're wanting to champion black women and let people know that black women are beautiful and you're worth a lot of things. So I understand that that's probably where the energy is coming from. So yeah, that's just where it's at. So I do understand what she's saying, and it makes you think. She brought up the conversation, and it makes you think and ask these questions. Why is this so?
Well, and one of the things that I said when I was kind of breaking this down the first time I heard about it was that this is also something that we witnessed and that we saw. One of the things I always go back to is the Man Up concert, where it wasn't many of us there. Let's just put it out there. Like it wasn't many of us there. It was enough to say, oh, there's somebody that looks like me, but it wasn't that many. And it was a shock to us because these people speak about black issues. They are from the same environments that we're from. They look like us, they dress like us, they talk like us. And to see that it was more people that didn't look like us that went to the concerts. Now you could say, well, because they're the ones that can afford it, which actually would be a right thing to say, because it happens in the mainstream world, right? No Name quit performing because only white people showed up to a show. But again, it's because, you want to sell $200, $300 tickets when my mom is working a 9 to 5 and we barely got food at home, or we on stamps, or we on, Section 8, you know what I'm saying? So, our housing or whatever. So, with that being said, you have to understand that. Remember the first time Lecrae finally went over $100 for a ticket?
Yeah, right.
And we was tripping.
We was like, yo, this man's tripping. $100 for a ticket? I remember general admission used to be $30, $20.
Right, $20 to get in through the door.
What this man do? A VIP was $40.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When we first seen $100 tickets, we about lost our minds,
We
bro.
about lost it. We lost all hope that we would ever be able to get a VIP ticket.
Thanks.
So, man, there's nothing wrong with having these conversations. I think these conversations definitely need to be continued to have because just because you don't mention it, don't mean it goes away. Just because you don't mention it, don't mean it needs to be ignored. And I think, there's a lot of layers to this. You can even say, well, in our genre, why can't we really talk about black issues without getting labeled as, BLM? And BLM has done a lot of great things, but the other side of what people like to connect to BLM, people like to try to connect us to that. So I'm happy she did this. And I think it's dope for somebody as young as Wande to bring this up and be bold on the point of, her rap label. There are relationships on her rap label. So for her to be bold enough to say something like that, I think that's pretty dope. Shouts out to Wande, and that's enough TV time for this clown. 350 says, and not Wande, I'm talking about. Let me make sure I make it clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not talking about Wande.
We know who's the clown in the situation.
Big facts. So 350 goes to Twitter and he says that his project has been done. And that, so it looks like we may be getting this very soon. He says, oh, never mind. I got to get Bats on the track. Zay Hill says, are you going to release I hope the song is on there. So it looks like we're going to be getting a 350 and Zay Hill joint together. 350, man, his name has been everywhere when it comes to Christian hip hop. And I'm mistaken, him and DJ Michael V has a pretty dope relationship as well. They just dropped Peter Bands. Y'all go and check that out. Are you excited for this 350 project? I'm getting back to the point where I'm excited to hear projects, not so much singles, because singles now are disposable because everybody comes out with something every week, but projects, Yo, man, I'm pretty excited.
I'm excited, especially from 350. We know that his name has been bubbling in the scene, you know, Rapzilla freshman. Yep. So this one is definitely excited. We talk about the features. We talk about he's trying to get bets. We talk about he's trying to get Zay Hill, or he already has Zay Hill. Right. And so, listen, man, this is exciting. 350 definitely has one of those new, fresh sounds that, you know, the people in the culture love today. Yep. So I'm extremely excited about this one.
Yeah, I think that whole group of people, when we talk about 350 and we talk about Bats and we talk about Mikey J, you know, we talk about Christopher Sincere, Mike Teasy, all these people, of course, Burt Mob, El DeWine, like,
and I think it's so dope, not to cut you, I think it's so dope that they all roll together. They all do. Cool. We got Mike Teasy, who does a song with LD, El DeWine, you know, all these. And then
El DeWine did a song with Burt Mob.
Yeah. All these dudes are cool.
Burt Mob did it with TJ Carroll.
I see Miles
Caleb
Minnick.
Gordon.
I see Miles Minnick is always in the comment section of LD. So all these dudes, they roll together, and it's just a beautiful thing that we can see this unity in Christian hip hop come together like what it was in the old days.
It is a beautiful thing to see. They kind of have their own little bit. Shouts out to Henrik, man. I need to release that interview. I don't know why.
I'm not ready for that one, man.
I don't know why I haven't released that Henrik interview just yet. Why? I mean, I do know why. You know, we had a lot going on. I had the Domination event to prepare for, all of that, so I didn't really have the time. And this interview is like a month old. If y'all still want it, put it in the comments. If y'all still want this interview, I actually owe it to Henrik to put it out.
Absolutely.
Do. So I'm gonna put it out whether y'all put it in the comments or not, because I owe it to Henrik, man. So no, I agree with that. But going from the new guard to the old guard, Sho Baraka dropped a freestyle called Healthcare. Now look, guys, if you followed us for any amount of time, I've been very critical of Sho Baraka. But shouts out to Sho Baraka for not caring what the hell I was talking about and staying the course. And over the past 5 years, my eyes have been open. I have seen the light. This guy is not to be messed with.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on this healthcare freestyle? Shouts out. Like, I think he's coming back. I think we might get an album soon.
I'm just like, yo, nasty. This freestyle is freaking crazy.
The visuals.
The visuals was crazy. It just, in the bars, man.
Yeah.
Bars is back.
Yeah.
It just made me understand how much I underappreciated that man back in the day. I mean, this dude has, honestly, his last few projects, this dude has been on a tear. And I don't think he gets the credit that he should, man. When we talk about painting a picture and poetry, and when we just talk about making people, just drawing people in to what you writing on that pen, or what you writing on that paper with that pen, this dude is incredible at that, and this shows nothing but greatness when it comes to this man. So
yeah, man, I even down to the colors,
right.
You know, the neon, the blue, right. And the purple, and I mean, it was just it was almost like it transported you somewhere else. You didn't realize that you were just watching this freestyle. It was almost like a legit situation. So and I'm sure it was. I'm sure he took his time. I'm sure you know, he had a team. I'm sure he had to cut and paste and do all of that. But I'm just saying, like, it seemed effortless.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, in regards to this. So big shouts out to Sho Baraka. You know, so I don't know. Maybe he might get re-signed to Reach Records. Who knows? You know, man. You know.
Well, you know what? What's crazy is is what he wanted to do. Reach Records is doing that. What he left Reach Records because he wanted to do, Reach Records is actually doing right now.
That's a fact.
So it would actually make sense if they did sign him again. Obviously, I don't think that would ever happen.
Well, they would have to give I think that they would have to give a public apology. No, seriously, because Sho Baraka, man, it's so crazy. The age of YouTube, boy, it's so different. Yeah. Sho Baraka put out a 3-part series and explained why he left Reach Records.
Right.
And you know, it was all over everywhere. But they've since made up. Lecrae and Sho Baraka.
Like they even after that they went on tours.
Yeah.
He wasn't even signed.
Right.
The whole Man Up project was after Sho Baraka was signed, if I'm not mistaken.
After he left, he was leaving. He was leaving, but they had already had that in the works.
Oh, okay, and it makes sense.
And then he left after that, and they still had their issues. But Lecrae was just over his house.
Right.
At a couple situation
right.
for the 4th of July. So
it's all love now.
Yeah, that's all love. But yeah, that was wild. But speaking of Reach Records, I love a great segue. Speaking of Reach Records, Swoope, who has had a lot of dealings with Reach Records, you know, producing and different things like that. He just dropped his album 24, and it's been receiving a lot of praise from social media. But he got the highest of praise when Goat Cray, you know, because Shannon Sharp say Go James.
Yeah.
When Goat Cray said after listening to this Swoope album 24, he says that he gotta scrap some of church clothes and start over. Now look. He went to make this clear, guys, that he just means rewriting verses. Okay? But he says that Swoope raised the bar. But this has to say something about the quality of product that Swoope put out, right?
Right. I think this is more so about Swoope than what it is Lecrae himself. This is just high praise to Swoope. And listen, does it all make sense? High Society, Swoope, Show Baraka, them dudes was rolled together in the High Society along with Natalie Lauren, who was Susie Rock at that time, who also does her own thing.
Facts.
And she was actually a songwriter for a lot of your mainstream artists, people like Chris Brown. If I'm not mistaken, she even
I think she did an Iggy joint.
Yeah, wrote for Iggy Azalea and a few other people as well. So doesn't it make sense that when we talk about bars and lyrics,
that's a fact. Yeah.
Swoope is up there amongst those guys, and they all ran together as a collective. Man, it makes perfect sense to me. Swoope is that dude. He had the JBL headphones joint with Giannis, the NBA or whatnot.
Yep.
So which was well deserved. Swoope is, I don't think he's where he should be in terms of status. I feel like he should be a lot more, but we all know that he kind of took a break, went on tour with Lecrae, and but I think that finally he's now getting that recognition, and it's well deserved.
Yeah, man. I haven't got a chance to listen to the project fully yet. This is a project you can't listen to doing other things, and that's what I was trying to do. Right. You can't do that. It's not going to work that way. But he even has a song on here called Flowers where it's featuring High Society. So he's brought High Sock back. I can't wait to get it. I mean, the project has only been out 2 days. Yeah. So, I'm not going to front like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
you got to marinate on it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give it time. So, and I want to make sure that I give it the proper, reading, you know what I'm saying, when I actually listen to it. So, but I've heard a little bit Gold Frame is a problem, man. Y'all, Gold Frame is a problem. But yeah, man, shouts out to Swoope. If I'm not mistaken, Lecrae has done this before. Where and we've heard Derek Minor talk about doing this. Yo, Cannon told me my verse was whack, I had to rewrite it. Oh, I heard Cannon's verse and I had to rewrite it. You know what I'm saying? Cannon works the same way. Like, there's something.
One particular song Cannon said that Derek Minor said he rewrote it like 3 times.
Right.
Right.
That
was on Minorville. It was on Minorville, but I don't remember what particular song.
Yeah, man. So, and we saw this happen with Indie Tribe, with their whole tribal council. So it looks like that competition, this healthy competition, it's not going to, guys, it's not going to do anything but help, right? Absolutely. When you have people, they say iron sharpens iron, right? I don't think that there's anything wrong with healthy competition. This isn't going to do nothing but make the music that comes out of Christian hip hop better. You know what I'm saying? And gone are the days of, of us sounding dated, of us not being able to keep up, of us not having the right beats, whatever you want to say. Gone are those days because these people are really in their bag. They're really creating. Right. Shouts out to Swoope, man. Can't wait to sit down with that. Speaking of people who make great art, Parris recalls a time back in 2018 when he went to perform at a church and they had a list of songs that he could not rap. Now, we also heard this happen to No Big Deal when he had a lyric about Trump.
What year was this?
This was in 2018 with Parris Carriz. Now, we know that around that same time is when No Big Deal got a show canceled because he had a Trump lyric and they wasn't having that. Parris Carriz also says he knows about a time when Aaron Cole, they won't let one of his songs or a couple of his songs play because the drums hit too hard. Parris Carriz says, hey, they don't care if you're talking about God, they just want to make sure that your drums aren't too black or that they're not hitting too hard. He said that that's what happened with Aaron Cole and why his song isn't on there. But are we ever going to get to a point where people are not wondering whether or not Christian hip hop is safe enough, or call it like he called it, not too black?
Yeah, it's just weird. I you would think with every year that Christian hip hop gets bigger, that we would be past things like this. You know, we're on the Rock and Worship Road shows of the world. We're on the Winter Jams of the world and things like that. Passion, things like that. You know?
No. Reach Records is at Passion.
Reach
Records is at Winter Jam.
Or anybody that's affiliated with
anybody
them.
that's affiliated, right?
So yeah, no, I understand what you. And then and they make some of the most daring music out there, but is it because they bring? I mean, is it because they bring this?
I mean, of course, that's
you gotta ask yourself: is it okay? Is it okay because they're bringing this? Is it okay for Reach Records to go to an all-white evangelical church and perform because they're bringing this?
But you gotta understand, right? Yes, that's right. But for every over the top that Lecrae makes, he's gonna turn around and make the "I'll Find You" joint with Tori Kelly.
Yeah, but that's one song.
But I'm saying
per album.
But I'm saying like
you got one "Tell the World," you got one "Calling All the Messengers," you got one "I'll Find You" with Tori Kelly. You know what I'm saying?
And he performs all of those at Winter Jam.
He performs all of those. Typically the closeout song. So yeah, but for the most part, we know how the music is. That Reach Records, they're one of the most daring when it comes to this music. They make music with mainstream producers. So it's kind of one of those things where a particular church is probably saying, well, we could do that with him because they're not really known like that, so it's safe to do that with that person, but we don't want to do this with Reach Records because, you know, they bring in the money, and, you know, to be connected with them means that we thrive. So I mean, a lot of questions can be asked when it comes to things like this, but nevertheless, he has a point.
Well, one person they're not bringing is NF, I can tell you that.
That they're not bringing? You don't think they would bring NF?
NF ain't doing no church gigs. I guess it's more to say about NF.
Because he definitely don't even have to. Like, you know what I'm saying? If a church is gonna give you a bag to perform, why not take it if you're a Christian hip hop artist? When you're an NF and you're going on tour with people like Logic, you're doing a few shows with Logic, you don't even have to accept the church's bag because you're performing at these big festivals and big stadiums and whatnot.
Yeah, man. I think we need to find out. Really, we need to sit down. Like there need to be representatives from either side and really sit down and say why. But this is why we have God's House of Hip Hop. Y'all can watch us or listen to us every Thursday on the God's House of Hip Hop radio app, powered by Dash, and we have our own radio, guys. Yeah. So we don't have to continue to have this. But you already know who it is, what it is, and what we do.